Alright, hello and welcome to the new character tutorial. This is going to show you how to make a new character with the new sample character template that's included in the game. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Don't Starve folder. Now this is going to be in a different place if you have Steam or if you have Chrome. I will look up the pathways and put those into the description. I have the standalone version, so I'm just going to go to Don't Starve and go into mods. Now in here, you're going to find the sample character folder, and I am going to copy it and put it onto the desktop. That way we still have the template in here, and I can use this folder to create our current character. Alright, so I'm going to go in here, and I'm actually going to rename it the character. So we are going to call her W87. Alright. And I have all my other tools over here. I have GIMP, that way we can edit on any of the image files. Notepad++, that's going to be for editing the mod main, etc. This is actually just something I put some of the tools in that we're going to be using. And then of course the TexTool over here, it is what you're going to be using to change PNG files over to text files. Okay, so that's basically that. Now that I've got this saved over here, I'm going to go ahead and open it. And here you've got the folders that you need in order to create a character. You have the animations, you have the big portrait, you've got images like the little portrait for the save slot, and then you have the scripts, so like your prefabs, anything else that you need, and the mod main. Alright, so we're going to start in order because that's the easiest way to keep yourself from missing anything. I'm going to go ahead and open animations, and you'll see you've got the template, and you have WAD over here, which is the name of the template character. So the template has all of the body parts and everything, exactly where you're going to need it, and this is going to be where you're going to put that, and it also tells the game how to use those. So we're going to go into this, and I'm just going to show you this is what we're going to end up turning this into, and this is the file that tells it what to do with everything. We don't need to do it right this second because we're just going to work with this, but I still, before I forget, want to go ahead and rename this with my character's name, so W87. Alright, so that way when you start it, it won't just crash on you because it can't find your character's animation file. Okay, so here's the template. I'm just going to go ahead and go into GIMP. For those who don't know, GIMP is free, and that's pretty much the best reason to use it. It's also a very great editor to get for free. Now, I personally use OpenCanvas or Inkscape, but I always end up putting it into GIMP because it saves PNG transparent background without me having to fight with it whatsoever. Sometimes other programs you tell it transparent, it doesn't seem to remember. Anyway, so you have the template. You're going to put a layer over top of this, so layer, new layer. Just make sure that it's transparent. Go ahead and hit OK. Draw what you want over top of these parts. So if you're going to have Wilson hair, draw the Wilson hair. If you don't need to have big hair like that, don't worry about it. Go ahead and put your heads. This is the heads without hats. This is the head with hats. This is Wilson's hair, front and back and side. You've got your various torsos for the different positions. It may take you a little trial and error to make sure that you get them exactly how you want them, but that's all part of the process. You've got skirts and pigtails, and you have all the different faces and arms, legs, and hands. You got feet over here. So as I said, you're just going to want to make sure that anything that your character actually has, you put on there. Basically what might be optional are the different types of hair. You do definitely want to make sure you do all the faces, all the arms, all the legs, and all the torsos. Of course, I guess skirts are optional too, unless you want to create some male characters with skirts. Or female characters that don't have skirts. But that would still be optional. Anyway, back to what I was doing. I already did this. I have all these pieces here. She's actually a female robot. Now, she's not going to be this brightly pink in the game. And so if you want to go for a specific color of character, you might have to go with something a bit more bold. But as of now, she's still at least not brown wood color. Like WX78, I always have to think to say his name. Anyway, see, I've got all her feet, all of that, some arms over here. This is her sleeve with her arm. I may eventually change her arms to pink because that would make more sense. Just everything. I got skirts. I'm eventually going to go in and put some different details on her, but for now, this will do. Okay, so this file, I first save it as a GIMP file, an XCF file, because GIMP just likes you to do that before you export. Then you go to Export, and you're going to export it to the desktop as a PNG. Now, I've already done this. When you hit Export, it's actually going to ask you all these questions. Just hit Export. Okay, now it's on the desktop. Over here, I have it on the desktop. Okay, so you're going to go to the TexTool and Text Creator. Text Creator is what you use if you want to take a PNG and make it into a text. TexTool is what you want to use if you take a text and make it into a PNG. Now, go to Add. Now this is on the desktop, so all I have to do is go and select it. Open. Go to Output Directory, so where do you want the text file to be? I'm just going to continue with the desktop. Make sure that you have this on DXT5. It's all the defaults anyway. 1D and default. Make sure that these two boxes are clicked. Choose Convert. Wait a few seconds. And there you have it. So now you have your text file. It's going to be somewhere on the desktop. Probably behind my stuff here. Yeah, here it is right here. Alright, so we've got that done. You're going to go into the zip file. You're going to take the Atlas 0 and you are going to delete it. Then you're going to take this and drag it into here. Choose OK. And, very important, don't forget, rename it. It needs to be Atlas-0 text. Alright, there you go. So that's all you have to do for the animations. It seems a lot easier than it actually is, only because of the fact that you have to do the drawings. That's the only complicated part about that. All the rest of it, all the stuff we just did, no problem. In fact, if you just wanted to go and draw a mustache on Wilson, easiest thing you could do. Anyway, now we need to edit the build file, and the build file, it has the character's name in it at one point, and that's basically all we need to change. So I'm going to take the file and drag it onto here. This used to be really hard to edit, but there's now a program which I unfortunately can't remember the name of the forum guru who created it, but I'll look it up and I'll put it into the description. But thank you, person who created that. Anyway, it's I've got it under here. It's called Build Renamer. Pretty simple. Open Build Renamer, choose the file, which is on desktop, and build, open. Output file, I'm going to choose the same thing. Save, yes, I'm going to replace it. And now I'm going to go here and put in my character's name, so W87. Save. Done. Yay, okay. So now this is complete. You're going to go back into the zip file. You're going to delete. Yes, I know. I need to click on it first. I'm going to delete. And then I'm going to drag this back in here. Choose OK. There you are. Done with the animations. Close that, and this is the folder we just completed. So you still have your template. Don't worry about that. I just leave it there. It doesn't really do anything. Alright, so now under the big portraits, you'll see the template for the portrait. You can do anything you want with this whatsoever. I actually didn't create one for this character. I suppose I could be nice and do that now, so let's go ahead and check that out. It's really the same process. In fact, it's a bit easier. Let's go into Open and go into this one, and then Big Portraits, and take this. Okay, Open. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing something on here because I'm trying to show you how to do this. So, just to be silly, Yeah, it's a big arm. And let's give her some white, no, let's give her some purple hair. I'm doing all this with the mouse. Usually I would be using a pen for this. So don't have too horrible of an opinion of my artwork, please. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and file, save. I'm going to go ahead and change the name here where it says template and choose W87. It'll save us the hassle of having to save that once we got it as a text file. Okay, so it's been saved. Now you need to export it. Export. We're going to export it to the desktop. And it's going to be W87 Big Portrait PNG. Export. Export. Minimize. Alright, so now on here, back to the TexTool. I'm going to go on here and choose the big portrait. We're going to go here and choose desktop. You're going to make sure again that everything's correct. And I don't really know if this is affected on this particular type of file, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Alright, hit convert, and it's going to take a few seconds. Feel like I should be playing the Jeopardy music. It can be frustrating because you don't see that it's anything is being done, but then once it shows up down here, you're good. Alright, so now we have the text file. I'm going to go back here to Big Portraits, and I'm going to, well, delete that because I didn't mean to put it there to begin with. Yes. And I'm going to delete you. Yes. I'm going to drag this in here. And I'm actually still going to rename it because it's not supposed to say Big Portrait. It's just your character's name, .text. Brilliant. Okay. There's a portrait, images, save slot portrait, template, again, go back into GIMP, file, open. Forgive the noise there, I think my dog is having nightmares or something. Okay, open, and this one, images, save slot portrait. There we are with the template. Layer, new layer, don't really care. Let's put it on here. And I'm just gonna go and draw a big circle. Take and make that a little smaller. Again, this is just me being silly. And here's some dots. That is the worst smiley face ever drawn, but there you go. Okay, so now you could delete the underneath layer, but honestly it doesn't matter for what we're doing. So I'll go ahead and, maybe I will. Let's see. No. We'll go here. We'll take this one. And we will delete layer. Forgive me, I'm not all that versed in this particular program. As I said, I do usually use other ones. I only use this one for ensuring that my file types are correct, and it's really great for that. Okay, so now we have this. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And yes, again, it's going to end up saving it to that folder. It's really okay. It doesn't matter if you leave it in there. It's not going to affect anything in the game. I just try to keep everything neat. It doesn't always work that way, but I try. Anyway, gonna go ahead and go to export. And I'm going to put it as save. I don't know if that's exactly what it's going to be named, but that's what it's going to be for now. We'll check in a second to see if we need to name it something else. Export. Export. Alright, go ahead and close that or minimize it. So here it is. And actually, I ended up exporting it to here instead of there, but that's okay. It's not going to affect anything. We're going to go to TexTool, Text Creator, Add. Now I'm going to go to W87 Images and Save Slot Portraits because I saved it there. And I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to go here. I'm just going to save it to the desktop, because hey, why not? It's easier. Hit convert. Now it's done. That one it did way quicker than the other ones. Alright, we're going to go back here and see WAD text. We're going to be replacing that with save text, which I'm actually going to rename to W87. Now I can delete WAD. And I'm going to go ahead and delete these two as well, just because they aren't necessary, and I did not intend to save them in that file to begin with. Like I said, you can leave them there, they're not going to do anything. Or if you are better than I am at this, you'll just save them to the desktop. Okay, so there's the save slot portrait. Go back, select stream portraits. There's two. You have the regular, and you have the silhouette. Now, on the regular here, you've got template select screen portraits right here. I'm going to go ahead and go back to GIMP. Go File, Open, go back here, Images, Save Screen, Select Screen Portraits. Okay, select that. Once again, Layer, New, okay. Something silly, just go ahead and, it's not what I want to do. Switch back to this, take my tool, switch back to, somewhere around there. Put a big old black circle. Yes, I realize I could use a shape tool for this, but I don't feel like it. There we go. Cheer, dot, dot, smile, layers, delete this layer, file, save, desktop this time, save, file, export, also desktop, export, export. Alright, go ahead, back into here. Let's see, so here is the text file for that, or I'm sorry, the PNG for that. Back to TexTool. We're going to make it into a text file. Gonna go here, back to desktop, and then this one. Okay, I'm going to save it to the desktop, convert, wonderful. Alright, gonna pull this back up, going to take this one over here, and we're going to change the name. So it is going to be W7, so that's the main one. And I'm not even going to worry with the silhouette, I will just go ahead and make a copy of this one. Maybe I'll paste it out here and rename, basically underscore after the name, and Silho apparently. Okay, put that in here, get rid of the two WAD ones, and you have just completed all of the artwork necessary for a Don't Starve character. Now you got your scripts. Scripts, most common one is going to be the prefab. You're going to need to change the name on this one to your character's name. So W87 again. It's a lot of that, that's why I said just name your character first, because it'll save you a lot of hassle. Okay, now I'm going to open this with Notepad++. And you're going to look in here for every instance of the word WAD and change it to your own character's name. Okay, so you really won't see much of anything until you get down here to where it says Asset Animation. It's telling it to look in the animation folder. But you are going to change this to your character's name because you went and created an animation file specifically for your character. Okay, so that's that. Choose which sounds the character will play. This says Wolfgang. Let's make her sound like Willow. And the other great thing about what they did here in creating this is they put all these notes so you know exactly what it is you need to do. Every character needs to have a mini-map icon or the game will just crash on you. Rather than having to create your own, you can just list somebody else's mini-map icon. So we'll go with Wilson. That's just not a problem at all. If you have something else that your character can do, you can list that here. I'm not going to change any abilities or anything right now. This is just basic. Now, strings are going to be anything like, let's see here. So these are going to be what's going to say when you're selecting your character, what they're going to be called. Like it would say grow a magnificent beard, that kind of thing. And you're going to go in here and you're going to take every instance of the word WAD and you're going to change it to your character's name, excluding the ones up here in the green text because those, you can change it if you want to, but those are just notes. This little dash dash here indicates that it's not part of the actual programming. It's just a note for you. So anyway, I'm going to go over here, backspace, W87. Now all these are going to be lowercase on the first listing. 87. Here. 87. And I always do this before I edit any of the text of what it actually says because I don't want to forget any of them. Because if you forget one, it can cause an issue. Alright, so W87 is the robot with a heart of gold. When I get her finished, she's actually going to be quite entertaining, I hope. Her name is W87. Let me guess, I did not have numlog on. Let's try that again. Alright. And descriptions. Again. An example of how to create a mod character. Let's see, she is... I don't know. Usually you're going to put in here, like for Wilson, it would say grows a magnificent beard. I haven't really created a special ability for her, so let's just say something special. There we go. Save us some hassle there. Alright, and then her quote. I do not have one, so let's go with beep. Alright, that'll do for now. Now, if you want to create custom dialogue, which, let's say, who doesn't? Seriously. You come down here, you're going to, whether you create it or not, you're going to come in here and change what they already have. So, WAD is going to be W87, this time with capital. Now, you can see it starts this way. We're going to be describing things. Describe evergreen. It says a template description of a tree. I'm going to change that. Let's just do something silly. There we go. Okay, so that's everything down to there. You're going to come down here where it says return make player character. You're not making WAD, you're making W87. There we are. That's everything. Simply save the file. Close out. W87's prefab is complete. Got one more step and then you've got a character. Go to the mod main where it says WAD here. W87. Here. W87. Obviously, you replace it with whatever character you're going to do. 87. This is going to be the silhouette. 87. This is obviously the file that just tells the game where everything's located. Go here. 87. There we are. As I said, this is basic. There's other things you can do for creating a character, giving them special traits and stuff like that. I'm just not going over that here. It's best if you just go ahead and create a basic character and then worry about that afterwards. Alright, so we have this done. Did I save it? I believe I did. There we are. it still is named mod main. But anyway, we are done. So I am now going to go to here, and I'm going to go to my Don't Starve folder. I'm going to go to mod. There we go. Now it's happy. Okay, so you have to then go under your mod settings, and you're going to type mod manager, add mod W87. As you can see, I've got her previous file there. Of course, we're not dealing with that one. Save. Start Don't Starve. And cross your fingers hoping you didn't mess anything up. Anyway, in here it's going to give you basically the mods that you've installed. I just gotta understand, go play, gonna go to new game, customize character, or change character, and there you go. Robot with a heart of gold. And there you are, that's your character. Awesome. Apply, start. And there she is. As I said, there's some aspects of her I'm probably going to go and do better detail on later. But look, she run around, she can pick flowers, hit this, and she'll say what you told her to say. Garland. There you go. Now she's even got a hat on. That's her from behind, that's her from the side. I'm still working on how odd her head looks there, but that has nothing to do with what we're doing here. That's something I have to work on my own. Alright, so anyway, that's a character. Now feel free to go and create your own, and I cannot wait to see what everybody comes up with and all the new characters that are in the game. Alright, you guys have a good day. Bye.